This can include anyone. Can you believe that a sitting member of the House of Commons could have major implications on trade deals, doing what's in the best interest of foreign governments and not in the best interest of Canadians?
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order, Mr. Chair.
I also didn't know hurt feelings could be point of orders, because that's what it seems like the Liberals keep
Point of
doing
order
now.
again, Mr. Chair. Don't,
Ms. Khalid,
please
point of
don't.
order, please.
It's not nice. Make your arguments as the right of every parliamentarian in committees. Let's not call people names.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics. Oh, yeah. Hey gang, what's up? Just Aaron right here, Canadian Looney. Oh my goodness, another committee video. And we've got lots of IQRA KHALID in this one. She's butthurt. She's a big faker, cockalorum, idiot. She's a pig. Disgusting. She's got an awful voice, a terrible face. Why is she so swollen? How much Kool-Aid did that woman drink? Oh, she's disgusting. What a sow. And she's so fake. However, in this video, we've got some of her favorites as well. MP Hallan, who we saw in the intro. Melissa Lantsman's in this one. And this clown, Ron McKinnon, who's the chair of the committee. Oh my God, how do people get these jobs? It's ridiculous. Let's take a peek. Always interesting. Long video. Everything's in context here. This is how it went. You should come and check out our live shows. We watched this whole thing today, and it was wild. Here's some of the best clips from today's committee investigation. IQRA KHALID, always in the way, just like a fat pig would be.
To Ms. Lantsman.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Well, while I appreciate members of this committee thinking that the motion is out of order because they don't like it, that's not exactly how it works. And I think what we're seeing now here at this committee is that there's only one party in this country that is calling for the release of this name, and for the release of these names, the names that the Prime Minister has alluded to, the names that we know are being kept secret, and everyone else is trying to work to hide the names, particularly the changing stories of Miss May since before and after she read the briefings or she was briefed in. Now we see that the NDP are trying to distract from what was brought to this committee as a serious issue today, the serious issue of foreign interference by India, and they're now playing politics with it. Listen to this. I agree completely with Poilievre's decision not to take the bait. Trudeau has been trying for a year and a half to restrain what Pierre Poilievre can do by trying to say, come and get this private briefing. And oh, by the way, then you'll be held to an official secret and that you won't be able to talk about this anymore. Do you know who said that, Mr. Chair? That was Thomas Mulcair. That was the leader of the NDP when the NDP used to be an opposition party that wasn't helping the Liberals cover this up. The question is what is the government trying to hide? Now, for everybody watching, they might not know that the CSIS Act allows the government to offer information to any Canadian about specific risks of foreign interference without forcing them into sworn secrecy or controlling what they say. But this motion particularly is about releasing the names that Canadians deserve to know of any parliamentarian in any party that has been wittingly associated with foreign interference, with a foreign government working against the interests of Canadians. But receiving a secret briefing would, even according to the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, would prevent the recipient from using that information in any manner. Now, I don't think that's very smart for an opposition party, one that only exists, the only opposition party that exists to force the Prime Minister to come clean with Canadians in what he is trying to hide. This particular motion that was dropped at committee makes a mockery, the same kind of mockery that the Trudeau government has repeatedly made with foreign interference. What we witnessed at the public inquiry this week was nothing more than well-rehearsed partisan smears by a failing Prime Minister who is facing rejection from Canadians from coast to coast, and increasingly from his own Liberal Party, ones that are having letter writing campaigns to oust him from his leadership. And it is beyond rich for the Prime Minister to grandstand, given the record that his government has shown on not taking foreign interference seriously, with all of the benefits of the government agencies that he has, with all of the information that he was warned with, including in the Liberal Party, and the fact that he refused to act. It is this Prime Minister and his government who repeatedly claimed that they weren't aware of foreign interference happening right under their noses, despite a massive paper trail of warnings from officials. It is Justin Trudeau's government, which mysteriously sat, as we learned from the inquiry last week, on a CSIS surveillance warning, a warrant application for a Liberal power broker for 54 days, and still there is no answers about that. The minister says he doesn't know. Other ministers say that he doesn't know. There are staffers who gave absolutely no answers at that commission. It is Justin Trudeau's party who willingly allowed Chinese high school students to vote in the now infamous Han Dong nomination race, and that was fine. It was Justin Trudeau who ignored calls from the leader of the opposition to release those names to Parliament. He has repeatedly done that, and now the entire country is asking for those names. You cannot go to the committee under the guise of providing information, drop that kind of partisan smear job on members of Parliament, and then not come clean with the names. And the only people that are looking to have those names told to the Canadian public is the Conservative Party. We are fighting now every single party that is working with Justin Trudeau and his government to cover up these names. And Canadians deserve to know. Canadians deserve to know which members of Parliament in which party, no matter what, are colluding with foreign governments wittingly or unwittingly. And unlike others who are willing to limit their ability to hold government to account on important issues of national security, Conservatives will not do that. And Mr. Poilievre will not be left under a gag order and left unable to speak about any of the information he receives. But all of that to say that these names have to come out. And they have to be, and there's only one person who can do that, and that's the Prime Minister of Canada. The government, through CSIS, is authorized by a particular section in the CSIS Act. It's section 12.1. He could act at any time to utilize threat reduction measures to notify the leader of a political party of issues concerning national security. He did not do that. Instead, he chose to make it public in an inquiry and cast aspersions with absolutely no evidence and no follow-through on letting Canadians know who those people are, who those members of Parliament is. This tool has been available to his government since he started, since 2015. He could use that tool to inform Mr. Poilievre, and he's not doing that. All of that to say is that the motion on the table is to release the names. Again, there is one party asking for this Prime Minister to release every single one of those names, and the other parties that are purportedly in opposition helping the Prime Minister hide those names, hide the identities of all of those members of Parliament. The question really is to the entire committee is, what on earth are you hiding? What is the Prime Minister hiding? I think that's the question that we have to get to the bottom of in this committee, and I hope that members will vote for this amendment to make those names public for the betterment of our national security, and for every Canadian to know who represents them, and for every Canadian to know ahead of the next election who they are actually voting for, which country they are working for, and if they have Canadian best interests at heart. And only the Prime Minister can do that. Everything else is pure politics. That's what we've seen this week, and unfortunately, that's what we're seeing right now at this committee.
Thank you. We go now to Mr. Hallan.
Thank you, Chair. Once again, we see this costly cover-up coalition in full force. Jagmeet Singh, in this fake theatrical performance that he probably learned from Justin Trudeau, pretended to rip up his so-called agreement. And then once he used the people of Winnipeg, he taped it right back up. And once again, we're seeing the Liberals and the NDP, and obviously the leader of the Green Party, try to cover up, divide, and distract Canadians from this flailing Prime Minister. This is such a serious issue of foreign interference happening, where the RCMP has alleged that members of the South Asian community have been targeted by a foreign government, in this case India, for allegations of murder, of extortion, of violent threats. And what do the Liberals and the NDP do? With the help of the Green Party, they want to distract away from that there's a Liberal revolt happening within Justin Trudeau's caucus. They want to distract Canadians away from the pain and misery Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh have caused them with the high cost of living by doubling their housing and making sure that there's more food bank usage than ever before in this country. And on top of all of that, letting Canada become a safe haven for and a playground for foreign interference. I'd like to just give one clear message to Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh from our common sense Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, in a letter he just recently wrote. Release the names of all MPs that have collaborated with foreign interference. We can put this whole thing to bed. Canadians want to know. Canadians want to know who are those MPs working in the best interest of foreign governments and not in the best interest of Canadians. It shouldn't be that hard to do. The CSIS Act allows, and the CSIS Act allows the government to offer information to any Canadian about specific risks of foreign interference without forcing them into sworn secrecy or controlling what they say. Receiving a secret briefing would, according to Justin Trudeau's Chief of Staff, prevent the recipient from using the information in any manner. And even where that is not the case, briefing political parties on sensitive intelligence regarding an MP could put the leader or representation of a political party in a tough position, because any decision affecting the MP might have to be made without giving them due process. So, in clear words, Justin Trudeau and the NDP are trying to muzzle not just the leader of the Conservative Party, but all Canadians. Justin Trudeau doesn't need to wait for an inquiry. According to the CSIS Act, he can walk over to Pierre Poilievre and give him the names. He doesn't need to continue to muzzle. He muzzled the NDP leader, so because of greed for his $2.2 million pension, and he's also obviously muzzled the Green Party leader. And this is why Canadians are so fed up and want an election now. Common sense Conservatives are the only party inside the House of Commons and outside the House of Commons that are calling to release the names now. Can you imagine that there's people sitting in the House of Commons today that are not working in the best interest of Canadians? This can include anyone. Can you believe that a sitting member of the House of Commons could have major implications on trade deals, doing what's in the best interest of foreign governments and not in the best interest of Canadians?
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order, Mr. Chair.
I'm sorry, Ms. Khalid, on a point of order?
Yes, thank you. I do take a lot of exception to the member calling the integrity of the members of parliament in our parliament into question with what he's saying. I take major exception to that.
That would be Standing Order 18, and I would advise the members to be cognizant of that. Thank you.
Yeah. Look, Mr. Speaker, we see once again the Liberals will do anything to distract away.
Point of order again, Mr. Chair. I don't appreciate if the member has points to raise on his motion, as is absolutely his right, please do so. Please don't try to call into question the integrity of the members that are in this chamber.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Was that Ms. Lantsman?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Just want to remind the member that it's the Prime Minister himself at the inquiry that called into question the integrity of members of Parliament by naming parties and affiliations without actually putting the names down, and that's exactly what we're arguing here today.
Thank you. Mr. Hallan, you were...
Thank you to the great Melissa Lantsman from Thornhill, our co-deputy leader, for that clarification. I also didn't know hurt feelings could be point of orders, because that's what it seems like the Liberals keep
Point of
doing
order
now.
again, Mr. Chair. Don't,
Ms. Khalid,
please
point of
don't.
order, please.
It's not nice. Make your arguments as the right of every parliamentarian in committees. Let's not call people names. Let's not go down this path. Let's be respectful, please, of everybody.
Thank you for your point of order, and point is well taken. Please, everybody, try to be polite to each other.
I'll continue, Mr. Speaker. Hopefully I'm not interrupted because of hurt feelings. But furthermore to our leader's letter to Justin Trudeau, furthermore, my Chief of Staff has received classified briefings from the government, and at no time has the government told me or my Chief of Staff of any current or former Conservative parliamentarian or candidate knowingly participating in foreign interference. This is in stark contrast of what the Prime Minister has alleged and what we've heard Ms. May flip-flop on from when she said she took the briefing to now and to what the NDP is claiming. Our leader goes on to say if Justin Trudeau has evidence to the contrary, he should share it with the public. Now that he has blurted it out in general terms at a commission of inquiry, he should release the facts. But he won't, because he is making it up. Justin Trudeau is doing what he always does. He is lying. He is lying to distract from a Liberal caucus revolt.
Mr. Singh, it is inappropriate parliamentary language to refer to a member as lying.
I just want to get some clarification. I'm reading a letter that was sent to the Prime Minister. Okay.
It's not acceptable.
Thank you. I'll retract the lying, but I will say what our leader is saying in general is that Justin Trudeau is misleading. It's what he always does. He's distracting from a Liberal caucus revolt against his leadership and revelations. He knowingly allowed Beijing to interfere and help him win 2 elections. It is beyond rich for Justin Trudeau to grandstand, given that the record now shows that he and his government, with all the benefits of government agencies, were repeatedly warned about foreign interference, including within the Liberal Party, and he refused to act. If Justin Trudeau and his government, who repeatedly claim that they just weren't aware of foreign interference happening right under their noses, despite a paper trail of warnings from officials. It is Justin Trudeau's government which mysteriously sat on a CSIS surveillance warrant application for a Liberal power broker for 54 days. It is Justin Trudeau's party that willingly allowed the PRC consulate to bus in PRC international high school students to vote in the now infamous Han Dong nomination race. It is also Justin Trudeau who has ignored our leader's calls to release the names of parliamentarians referenced in this spring's NCCOP report who have wittingly worked for the benefit of foreign governments against the interest of Canadians. This is nothing but a cover-up. Once again, Justin Trudeau, with the help of the NDP, are just trying to distract away from the pain and misery and the foreign interference they have allowed in this country after 9 years. This is nothing but politics for these people. This has nothing to do with the safety and security of Canadians, the democracy that we should be upholding, or the sovereignty of Canada is not being upheld by these parties. It is only the Conservative Party that is asking for full transparency and to release the names. That's what this is all about. Well, we're calling the bluff of this costly coalition, this cover-up coalition now. Just release the names. Release the names of those MPs that are not working in the best interest of Canadians. It is that simple. There should be no excuse now. there should be no reason for anyone to doubt that any parliamentarian that is duly elected to the House of Commons is not working in the best interest of Canadians. I also want to mention that it's this Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, who admitted at the public inquiry that there are Liberal names and names from every party. Conservatives are not scared of names being released. We're saying release the names now. It's only this cover-up coalition of the Liberals and the NDP who are afraid. What we want to know is, what do they have to hide? What do they have to hide? They're scared to go to an election because they're scared of Canadians, but they're willfully letting foreign interference, which includes threats, violence, extortions, and even alleged murder happening in this country to Canadians, all just so that they can cover up for their incompetency. This is 9 years of Justin Trudeau with the help of Jagmeet Singh. I'll make it clear one more time. Common sense Conservatives are asking for the names to be released immediately so that Canadians can feel safe once again on Canadian soil. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We're going to wrap it up right there, gang. What do you think of IQRA KHALID? What do you think of Jasraj Hallan, Melissa Lantsman? What did you think of Ron McKinnon there? What a thing is going on Parliament Hill. We need an election desperately. My name's Aaron, Canadian Looney. Thank you very much for watching the video. We've got a live show. Come and check it out. Great fun in the chat room. Every day we're there. Anyhow, getting going for this one. Thanks again for watching this. Like, subscribe, share, get notified, all those great things. Please leave a comment. Love the comments. Catch you next video. Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.